So they officially got Brian Norman and Devin Haney fight already set for November through Turkey Island Sheet. Putting out the news today. That was the fastest fight ever made in history. I knew that wasn't gonna take long. That did not take long. A lot of people still reacting to what Floyd Schofield did recently. Yeah, a lot of people still reacting to what Barbosa reacting to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia lashing out again. Yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff going on right now in the boxing world. But that Haney and Norman fight getting signed. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's officially signed yet, but I know it's going to happen. I know that. When Norman saying that, yeah, Turkey Alashika already got that fight done. Yeah, this was a big weekend though. I haven't seen this many knockouts, especially first round, with good opponents like this in a long time. First round knockouts. Yeah, this was a crazy weekend. Started on Friday, then on Saturday. We actually talked about it on, I think, Friday, Thursday and Friday. So it'd be crazy to be a lot of knockouts this weekend. Then it continued Saturday. But the one that stole the show was definitely Floyd Schofield. He stole the show. He definitely showed up. He put everybody on notice. Yeah, that was crazy. That definitely did not look like the last fight. And the crazy part is he didn't get lucky at all. It wasn't no lucky punch. Yeah, that's the crazy thing I seen. At 135 though, I mean Keyshawn, he left at the right time because it's a lot of names that was calling him out. It's making some noise right now. But Schofield still want to fight Shakur though. Gotta respect that. I definitely gotta respect that. That's a fight I still want to see. Now the part about him being poisoned, that's the only part where I'm like, man, come on, man. As far as the skills, yeah, he always had the skills. I think most people knew that too, because he's one of the most talked about prospects still, even though over a lot of other names. Yeah, he's basically like the most talked about prospect other than Abdullah Mason, from what I seen. So yeah, he lived up to the hype. I told people after the last fight, it was like, man, he don't look good, bro. I'm telling you, one main event fight, He gonna be all right. But yeah, his dad be training too, man. His dad is training well. A farmer to go out there and play with him like that? Nah, man. Gotta watch out. I don't know why the guys ain't learned from that Dubois fight. Some of these guys come out the first round trying to throw a big punch. And he wasn't even throwing no big punches. He was just kind of reacting. The farmer was just open. Like, and man, I'm talking about he reacted just in time. Boom, 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 every time. When he got up, same thing. It was like they was in round 10. He already knew what to do, man. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, but Schofield a beast. Showed that he has a lot of IQ too. Jumped straight into the fight and gave Tevin Farmer problems. Yeah, that was a good fight for him, man. Very good fight. I'm talking about you might not see a lot of guys knock out Farmer like that. And you know, I seen a lot of people saying, does that mean Zepeda don't got power? Last night had nothing to do with Zepeda. If Zepeda was knocking guys out like that, we would know. Yeah, Zepeda ain't like he ain't knocking guys out like that. They had nothing to do with Zepeda or Tevin Farmer's weight. Floyd Schofield punching like that. That's why when he was saying names like Tank and Adilla Mason and Keyshawn and Shakur, I'm kind of like, definitely probably could fight those names. Definitely not early at this point. That's the scary part. So yeah, he put a lot of guys at 35 and 140 on notice. All the guys at 142. Man, I mean, boxing is so lucky. They lucky they don't have one belt in boxing. If they only had one belt for every weight class, we'll see. We'll really see what guys were made of. We would definitely see. Because what Schofield did to Farmer yesterday, I don't know how many guys at 35 can do that. Yeah, I don't know. We seeing knockouts this year in certain weight classes we ain't never seen before. We haven't seen a guy at 35 really cracking like that. Now we've seen Tank crack some people, but we're talking about Tevin Farmer in the first round though. Yeah, that don't happen every day. That's something new. And for a guy to do that at what, 22? Man, yeah, it's a lot of names in 135. They better start making something happen. You do not want to fight a guy like Schofield. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be like Farmer, man. These young guys fighting everybody. It's crazy. He almost fought Shakur. Came out here and stopped Farmer. I mean, man, that's the craziest part about everything. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a upset, but the way it happened, it's definitely shocking. Still a surprise. But surprised they got knocked out. I don't think I'm surprised out though. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, I ain't surprised by a knockout. Farmer, I ain't really get to see the part where after knockout everything was going. I hope it's all right because it take. He probably need to that's all. 130. So he takes some time. Yeah, he definitely probably more. Let me see. Yeah, but a lot of people his fault though. That's what people wanted to see. As far as the matchup, probably not, but they wanted to see Jay Paul in the ring though. Man, what's going on? Shout out to Jay man, man, what's going on? Yeah, last night was crazy, man. They had Schofield come out, the huge knockout, call out Shakur again. Had Griffin get knocked through the ropes. That was embarrassing. For Griffin to get that was bad. That was worse than that knock. Every year, Jake Paul got a crazy knockout on his fight card every year. This year, man, I almost missed it too, dog. I almost missed it too. They showed that fight early. They showed that like 7, 8. That fight was already on. Yeah, Zerto looked good. He was in the pocket too. And one thing, he could take a lot of punches. Fighting, he was kind of old, but he had some power. Box too. Yeah, he been with Zerto. I mean, Zerto been with Malik Scott since like I think the Joe Smith fight. I think like 2 years now. Yeah, that's why he. Yeah, you can kind of see the style that he's learning from Malik Scott. It's kind of like he's punching while he's falling away, kind of thing, and then coming forward, throwing a lot of hooks, jabbing. Yeah, it works though. Zerto, he fight good like that. I think it works well. I think Floyd Schofield, dad a good trainer too. I told everybody his dad a good trainer. As soon as he learned how to listen to him, he gonna be a beast. They gonna have to give him credit on this one. I know a lot of people know he talk a lot, but gonna have to give him credit. He right. He talk for a reason. They went out there and stopped farming the first round, man. I didn't see that coming. But I did say a couple of fights ago that Farmer was doing too much grabbing, like reaching for guys. And I think when he did that against Schofield, he got caught with a big shot and kept doing it, trying to clinch and grab from far away. What's going on? Fighter get knocked out. He said Zerto trash. You need to fight Ja. Yeah, Ja would have stopped him last night. He definitely would have stopped him. I don't know why. Every time he looks sloppy like that when he fight, but he knows what he's doing. He countering, jabbing, but he's not throwing a whole bunch of punches though. Not like you would expect a guy like Ja to be doing. But yeah, that was the best cruiserweight he fought last night, and I think that dude got stopped by Garcia, the dude who lost to Usyk, and Otto Wale recently. But yeah, cruiserweight it's kind of weak right now. It's definitely kind of weak. But yeah, they need to make that fight happen because Badu Jack, he's making that rematch with McCallie, and so I want to see Ja versus Zerto. That's the fight I want to see. I don't want to see Zerto versus Jake Paul. They talking about that fight actually happening. I hope they don't make that fight happen. I just want to see Ja versus Zerto right now. And then if Benavidez fight one of those guys, I watch that too. But Zerto talking about he'll move up to heavyweight soon. I don't know if he can do anything at heavyweight, but we'll see. But if he beat Ja, he definitely can do something at heavyweight. He definitely can. But yeah, last night he was all right. He really wasn't hurt last night though. He didn't have any damage on his body. Didn't have a scratch on his face really. The other guy, he was getting beat down most of the fight. But it's crazy how this weekend a lot of guys just dominated. You got Billy that dominated. Uh, you had Schofield. Then you had to do Rodriguez who stopped Griffin last night. And then Carrell had a knockout last night. Yeah, all the Golden Boy fighters had a good performance last night. Yeah, Zerto, Carrell, yeah, Schofield. I think that's maybe why Ryan may be reacting like that. A couple of things going on. Because Oscar was posting about Schofield last night, and he was very excited. Yeah, people got to realize he put a lot of big names on the undercard of Schofield last year. And I was wondering, I'm like, man, Oscar putting a lot of faith in Schofield right now, trying to make him a star. I said he must have seen something, and he definitely did. I think he's definitely a top five guy right now at 135, with or without a belt. You would have to say right now. Yeah, even though Schofield doesn't have a belt right now, I would say he's a huge threat, especially with the names that's attached to him, like Shakur, Tank. Uh, he was saying Keyshawn, Abdullah Mason, a lot of other guys. But to have Tevin Farmer as a first round knockout, yeah, he's definitely trying to fight these guys. And if it doesn't happen at 135, it'll happen at 140. And he's the younger guy. It's gonna be a lot of young guys that's gonna be fighting these older fighters. It's gonna happen a lot more than we realize. There's nobody else to fight right now. If you got a top young guy, you got a guy like Farmer, Turkey gonna put the fight together. Yeah, because Turkey's not playing right now. He's putting together some big fights. Because this Farmer and Schofield fight got made pretty quickly. They got made quick, man. I'm talking about having negotiations for Apatar and Zerto coming up. They talking about Eubanks and Conor Ben fighting again. I don't know if Eubanks should try to make weight for that Conor Ben fight again. I definitely wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't do it. But yeah, Chavez last night in that fight, man, he embarrassed a lot of boxing fans. A lot of boxers was embarrassed last night from what they seen from Chavez. He came out last night. That was a bad performance. A lot of people felt like he was it was a stage fight. I mean, the way that guy was fighting, you would think so, man. He waited till the last few rounds to throw punches. Yeah, it didn't look right. It was points where he wasn't punching at all. I haven't watched it again, but it was to the point where I was like, yeah, man, this got to be fake. It was worse than the Mike Tyson fight. Worse. I'm talking about not even close. It was way worse than the Tyson fight. That's how bad it was. Like Chavez did worse. He might have threw more less punches than Mike Tyson. And that was like a 2 minute round fight. He wasn't throwing any punches. That was disappointing. It was a good card too. Yeah, knockouts and just straight wars on in every fight. And then you have Chavez come up there and just moving around, look like a sparring match. Yeah, that was disappointing. Very disappointing. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I'm not surprised because he wasn't a good opponent as far as the selection. Yeah, he is a pro boxer, but wasn't a good selection. That's one reason why people criticize Canelo's record because there's no way that guy should be on there. Like for the name, yeah, but he's not that good. He didn't even try. That's the worst part. He did worse than the UFC guys. That's the worst part about the whole fight. They got the CompuBot stats right here. Let me look these up. So they got Chavez on here. They say Chavez threw 154 punches. No way. Ain't no way Chavez threw 154 punches last night. So listen to this. They say they say Chavez he landed 0 punches in the first round. He landed 2 in the second round. He landed 1 in the third round. He landed 4 in the fourth round, and he landed 2 in the fifth round. That dude should never box again, man. Yeah, his dad was embarrassed, bro. He like, man, why did I come to this? He better not ever say his dad ain't never support him. After what he did last night, I would have stayed at the house. Yeah, that was bad, man. This dude landed, bro, 9 punches in the first 5 rounds. Bro, y'all hearing this? This man only landed 9 punches in the first 5 rounds. Bro, Chavez is horrible. Jake Paul landed more punches in the second round, third round, fourth round, and fifth round than Chavez landed the whole 1 through 5. Yeah, that's bad, man. For him to be considered a real boxer and the son of a legend, Yeah, that was embarrassing to boxing. He really didn't deserve the chance to get that fight, to be honest with you. That's why a lot of people they weren't excited about the fight. A lot of fans said he was gonna embarrass his dad again. And they were right. Everybody said that. Man, he finna go out there and embarrass his dad. Yeah, at this point, man, Jake Paul gotta fight some guys who aren't coming out of rehab. No offense, but I'm just saying that dude was looking crazy. It's still considered a real boxer though. That's the guy that's on Canelo's resume, so he can definitely say I fought a guy who's on Canelo's resume and a legend. Yeah, Chavez got a lot of wins, like 50 some wins or something. Yeah, that was a big out of shape than Jake Paul. Yeah, that's Jake Paul look like he getting better though as far as the box. And that's the sad part about it. The man recently improving and yeah, but I'm in a good spot right now. What's going on, man? Schofield really just kicked the door open. Yeah, I know they doing some weird thing. Yeah, we good now? Yeah, Schofield and Billy, the landscape in Boston right now, they in the same spot. And Billy is 68. He's not really somebody who everybody looking at as a Berlanga yet. Or even Munguia with his situation. I was mentioned with Munguia one time. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was mentioned with Munguia before. But yeah, it's a lot of guys at 168. Once Canelo get rid of them belts, it's gonna be. You got Norman and Haney fight, Canelo and Crawford. It's time to make big fights now. They gotta make Shakur and Schofield fight again. No, it didn't happen the last time. Shakur gonna be like, no, I don't want to fight him again. He already said he don't want to shit with him. To pull him out the last fight. Then he said he poisoned him. So yeah, I don't know. But that's definitely a fight people want to see still. There's no other names really being talked about with Shakur except Schofield. As far as I know. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I figured it was tripping. I'm like, hold on, man. Yeah, you know how they do me. Yeah, they do me like this. But yeah, that was a good fight by Schofield last night, though. They came out swinging, and Schofield just got him in the first round. Yes. Big Paul, I ain't gonna lie, him and Chavez ruined that fight card last night. Jake Paul them would have had a good main event. It would have took some attention away from the UFC main event. But UFC had the best main event last night. Big upset. Wasn't really an upset. No. And these guys had a sparring match at 1:30 in the morning. That's gonna make people not want to switch you. They can blame it on Chavez, but he picked the opponent. You know how boxing go. If you pick somebody who's considered trash, they gonna blame you too. They're gonna be like, man, why you pick that guy? You could have fought the other guy. So yeah, might have had Canelo or somebody else set up. Chavez as a replacement. I mean, you can't really blame him because that's a Canelo fought before. That's a good name to have on your resume. That was about the same size too, but yeah, that wasn't a good look though. That definitely wasn't a good look. They could have kept that fight. And for Chavez, that should be his last fight. No disrespect to him, but he should hang it up after that. He definitely wasn't serious. I mean, bro, he did worse than Mike, to be honest with you. In my eyes, he did worse than Mike. At least by the time Mike stopped punching, we knew that he was tired. Like Chavez, he was like not even tired, just waiting to the end. 'Til the end. Yeah, he was waiting for the end, so I'm kind of like, nah, man, this ain't a good fight. But yeah, but I will say Jake Paul, he looked like a decent boxer last night though. He looked like more of a boxer than Chavez, which is a disgrace to boxing, to be honest with you. But like fighter get knocked out said, shout out to fighter get knocked out too, man. Zerto, yeah, I feel like Jai Patai can really get Zerto though. For some reason, it seems like Zerto is just like a he can't really hit that next level. But I've seen him go to work on people, but I don't know if he can go punch for punch with Patai though. I would like to see him do it. But Zerto, he's a beast though. The only person he's lost to is Bivol. It's not a bad loss. And he is a big guy, cutting a lot of weight. So I don't know. From what I've seen, the more he goes up in weight, the better he looks. But he definitely hasn't fought any competition of the level of Bivol at cruiserweight. That would be like Avatar, and that might be, I don't know, too much for him. Because the way they're moving right now, it seems like they're trying to save their fight for I don't know. I don't want to say next year, but possibly. It don't look like it don't look like they're gonna fight what the end of this year, so could be next year. I don't see them fighting this year though. They can talk about it, but and then Badu Jack having that rematch again, that's not gonna help. But Zerto said he want that fight next though. That would be a good fight to have. Yeah, that would be a very good fight. I think it would be too early, but if they were able to put that on Canelo and Crawford, that would be a good card to put it on. I don't think they would do it, but that would be a very good card to put it on. I think it's too close to the fight date. I know, and Billy said he was gonna try to fight on that card, but to put Zerto on there with Avatar, it's probably too close to it. He got to train for the fight. Yeah, it'll take too long. But yeah, the old guy last night, he had some power though. As Zerto was fighting, had a gas tank, took a lot of hard punches. He almost got dropped at one point, but he didn't get dropped. Zerto said the guy was tough and he can hit. He said he felt like he won the whole fight, but the scores was kind of crazy. I don't know. At one point, I felt like the fight was close, but then I felt like he was blowing him out most of the fight. Yeah, but he got to show up though in the cruiserweight division. That was a good win for him. But now Turkey is starting to really expose a lot of guys and show who's the best, especially the young guys. You know, a couple of years ago, fights like Schofield and Farmer, that wouldn't have happened. But now when you seeing fights like that happen, it shows how a lot of these guys are ready early, very early. Schofield only 22 years old. Everybody else is like 27, 28, 30. Yeah, he's only 22. So yeah, once he gets to 140, he's still gonna keep fighting and fighting. It's gonna be a lot of guys trying to move around in a minute. Now, you know Oscar happy right now. He gonna try to put him in any kind of fight he can, especially a big fight. If you got a chance to make that Shakur fight again, I'm pretty sure Oscar will try to do it, especially after that knockout. I thought Billy had the best knockout of the weekend. I don't know. That still was a good knockout. Still was a good knockout. I think a lot of fans should be happy though. It was a lot of knockouts this weekend. Yeah, it was a lot of knockouts. There's usually not that many good fights on, but you know how when the Ryan and Rolly card happened, wasn't any knockouts. People said it wasn't that much action, so yeah, this card is a lot better for that. On a lot of these MVP promoters that Jake Paul be having, a lot of these people be letting their hands go, man. They be fighting. Fights might be trash, but yeah, that card is good though. Can't really be mad at that. Yeah, they had one, two. Griffin got knocked out. Schofield got a knockout. Yeah, most of the big name guys had knockouts. But yeah, because Friday they had 3 first round knockouts. Yeah, I missed that Scrappy Ramirez fight. I ain't see that. I saw Holly Holmes fight. She looked good in the fight. The girl she fought was undefeated, was a beast. Yeah, that'll be a tough fight for Amanda Serrano. She said she want to fight her. If I was Amanda Serrano, I'll fight her. I mean Amanda Serrano, I'll fight her. I would definitely fight her. Because I don't know. Katie Taylor, she might get this fight. They already gave it to her twice. The only reason they would give her this fight so they could set up a bigger fight with somebody like Holly Holmes or something. That would make sense, but yeah, she need to go ahead and make a big fight with somebody. I think she's too big to be fighting Alicia Baumgartner though. Yeah, I think she's bigger than her. That dude Pascal went out there and he was getting beat down last night. I don't know if everybody seen that Jean Pascal fight. I missed the Marcus Brown fight. He was supposed to be co-main event, but I missed it. But I seen Jean Pascal fight last night, and it definitely went bad. Yeah, it was bad last night. Yeah, Gene Pascal, I know he a lot better than that, man. He a legend in the sport, but he may be a little too old right now. They did call the fight early, but man, it is what it is though. At a certain point, once you get hit and your legs start coming out the ground, you gotta start making a decision. Yeah, Gene Pascal, he's still a beast though, but that didn't go well last night, man. It's a lot of big names in the sport this weekend that got stopped early. Selecki got stopped bad. That dude Arabio fought never got stopped. That dude Akhmadov, I think his name Akhmadov or Makhmadov, one of them, the heavyweight. He stopped the guy who never been stopped, man. You know, it was a lot of people getting knocked out this weekend. Yeah, it's starting to get guys is unmatched now. They turning guys into journeymen. Yeah, that's not good, man. That mean the activity's starting to catch up to people. But at this point, everybody been fighting at the same rate, though. To be honest with you, by this time, besides a couple of people, everybody else been fighting already. Cause it will show up like Caleb Plant, but Tevin Farmer's his situation different. He been fighting. He been fighting. I don't know if it's too many fights lately, but yeah, Schofield definitely showed up against him. So the excuse everybody been using as far as he hasn't done anything yet, that goes away. A lot of fighters said, yeah, he ain't done nothing yet. But Shakur did accept the fight. It didn't happen. So that's not his fault. That fight didn't happen. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I still to say that he got poison or whatever. I don't know. That just wasn't a good look. Just from what I seen. Yeah, that definitely wasn't a good look. But the boy got sick too though, so it wasn't like it was an isolated situation. He got sick as well, and they said somebody over there was sick. I don't know if it was a reporter or what, but yeah, that fight was supposed to happen. But saying somebody poisons you, that might stop the fight from ever happening. I hope it doesn't, but if it doesn't happen, we'll know why. Yeah, as far as last night, man, people are not gonna want to see Jake Paul fight again this year. Unless it's somebody people feel like that's really gonna knock him out. Nobody gonna want to see him fight. That was bad last night. People say he good for boxing. I mean, as far as what? Putting on fights. He could be a promoter and do that. I feel like he's trying to be Vince McMahon too much right now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to run WWE and trying to be the main event. Because a lot of these fights is just they're not good, bro. We gotta be real. We gotta be honest, man. These fights are really not good. The whole card that he's on is good, but as soon as his fight starts, that's when everything goes bad. He has to get somebody in the ring with him that's gonna punch back. It's sad that we got professional fighters that don't punch back, but just for entertainment, he has to get somebody in there that will do that. Because that was a good fight card last night, and Chavez ruined it. He don't know how bad he ruined his legacy last night, but he could have faked it if he was just going in there to stage it or whatever, fake the fight. He could have did something because no way that was a real fight last night. Just in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? I could come up here and just act like I ain't see what I saw last night, but yeah, that's not the move, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna complain about it too much because if nobody else really has a problem with it, like they have with other things I see, then it's not gonna be a huge issue then. I'm gonna just look crazy and be the only one really worried about it. So I'll see how everybody reacts to the Jake Paul stuff and the performance, and if they want to see him in the ring with another person in a couple of months, if they throwing around names, because after he fought Mike Tyson, they was throwing out names for him to fight. So if they still talking about him fighting people, got to take him serious. Might not want to, but yeah, he's a big name in boxing now. He is definitely a big name in boxing. It's a good thing and a bad thing because it's a good thing because we're getting the fights we want to see, and also, boxing changed a little bit more. We're getting fights a little bit faster, so can't really complain about it. I'm not really tripping. Yeah, I'm definitely not tripping. But I don't think he's gonna get criticized like that. It seems like a lot of people not really tuning in to the fights anyways, but I don't know. I can't really say. From what I seen, it seems like a lot of people tune in. Yeah, he can't do it. A guy just punching round for round. That's why he don't want to fight Tommy Fury again. Yeah, J man, that's true. That's why he don't want to fight Tommy Fury again. And it's sad that Chavez can't fight better than Tommy Fury. Somebody must have told him not to knock out Jake Paul just because I noticed when Chavez was throwing some hard shots, I'm like, bro, you punch way harder than Jake Paul, and you sitting up here not even throwing punches. Look like a fake fight. Yeah, I actually was gonna turn it off. I ain't turn it off because everybody was on here watching, so I would have turned off that Jake Paul fight though. Yeah, Joshua Edwards be cracking, man. They robbed him so bad in the Olympics. That dude got robbed bad in the Olympics. After he got robbed in the Olympics, I ain't even watching no more. I said, man, I'm done watching this. They tripping. If you go back and watch the fight he had in the Olympics, he beat the brakes off the dude. And they said he lost. I said, I'm not finna watch this. Whatever. This is trash. Yeah, I missed this fight though. I seen the high, I missed it. I think I started checking in when Holly Holmes was fighting. Then Julian Rodriguez vs Griffin. That was man. I ain't think Griffin was going out like that. Oh yeah, do I got that? Do I still got that knockout on my Yeah, but Tevin getting dropped last night. I definitely didn't see that coming. Yeah, that was crazy. Schofield showed that he a beast. Showed up. He really showed that he's a beast. He been hyped up for a while, and he lived up to it.
Seeing comments that Tevin would stop me and all this other stuff. Seeing comments that Tevin would stop me and seeing comments that Tevin would stop me and all this other stuff. No.
Yeah, that's wild right there. Yeah, he punching. For him to be cracking Farmer like that. Yeah, but it's still hard to hit Shakur. That's why we keep up with. That's why I'm not mad right now. At that weight class, yeah, guys definitely running from smoke. We're gonna meet up eventually though. We're gonna see what happens later in Shakur, but they're gonna have to meet up eventually. Yeah, he looked good, bro. What I seen, that was horrible. He said, I think they weight cut took his leg. Yeah, one thing I will say, he was doing the last 3 fights. He kept leaving himself out there like that. Yeah, he kept leaving himself out there, man. To be honest with you. But yeah, that right hook been dangerous. For Tevin, nobody threw it yet, but he said before stop, was Griffin losing or winning in your opinion? I thought he was winning because he almost stopped though. He almost stopped the dude. He was punching more than him in the end of the round, so it's kind of hard to score. He had just dropped him, so I thought he had. I thought he was winning, but he fought dumb though. I don't he felt like he was down on the scorecards. But yeah, the score they had, in that fight, man. I felt like they was gonna try to rob Griffin. But yeah, I felt like he was winning before he got stopped. That last round was looking. That's why he got stopped. But before the 12th round, I thought he was doing enough to win. He almost stopped the guy a couple times, but he kept getting hurt with those big shots. Every time he get a big shot, they was giving Rodriguez around. Yeah, Rodriguez was on point though. He was standing there the whole time, countering every time Griffin throws something, he'll be right there. That's what made the fight so close. Yeah, he got Tevin out of there quick, bro. I don't know who Schofield should fight next. When you do something like that, that's probably more than what Abdullah Mason has done. I know he's done a lot of great things as far as his performances, but knocking out a guy like Tevin Farmer in the first round is different. Yeah, that's different. And then Tevin just dropped Cepeda recently. Yeah, man, that's a big achievement. But yeah, I thought Griffin was winning that fight, Aaron. I thought he was in there. I don't know if they told him he was losing or what, but 12th round he got aggressive and got stopped badly. He wasn't punching enough either. But yeah, Jake Paul always got a good fight on his fight card like that. Where a surprise knockout just come out of nowhere. I will say that about his cards though. He always has one. What should do next after this fight? But at this point right now, a fight with De Los Santos that would be weird because Keyshawn just fought him. I mean, was supposed to fight him. He was supposed to just fight him, but um, yeah, it'd be kind of crazy to find out who he'll fight at 135. Unless he wait until Abdullah Mason get a belt and see if they can fight each other. That'll be a good fight. Yeah, unless Shakur Stevenson comes back around and fights him, which I don't know. Depends on how he feels after that. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people still gonna give Cepeda a chance to win the fight, but we'll see. After that fight, maybe the winner can fight Schofield. Because even though Shakur didn't fight him, his hand was still, you know, not fully healed going into that fight anyway. So it wasn't a bad thing that they didn't fight. If I was him, I'd look at it that way. But yeah, that'll be a good fight. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fights where you don't have to try to get Tank to fight a lot of these guys. You can get somebody who has the same kind of skill set as a Tank Davis or the same kind of power and put them in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. Even though you didn't see De Los Santos use the power, he still was in there enough to show you a different look than what you seen Shakur have before with different opponents. You could tell he was in there with a guy who got a lot of power. That's why people were saying, "Oh, he's moving a lot." I mean, of course, you ain't gonna stand right there in front of a guy with a lot of power. So I think they were seeing him in there with a big puncher, and that's what people like to see. If I was him, I would use that to my advantage. I would just pick a lot of guys who big punchers, like Zapata. He got big. Zapata's considered a big puncher. He is a big puncher, even though he got dropped by Tevin Farmer. Zapata's still a big puncher. The way he stopped Maxie Hughes and Cabrera, yeah, he's a big puncher. But yeah, I like what I'm seeing in boxing right now. You definitely can't overlook what's going on right now in boxing. Because Turkey giving every young guy a chance to show up. Because you got to realize Boots, he just now starting to get a chance, get his name thrown around with some elite guys. And they let Schofield do this at 22. Norman at 24. It might be 25 by the time he fight Devin Haney. But yeah, they letting all these guys fight early. Abdullah Mason fighting for a belt in a couple of months. That's why I say a lot of times you ain't got to build too many fights up. If you just let the fights happen naturally, there'll be big fights. Like Schofield and Farmer wasn't a fight that was built up for the last 2 years. That was just a fight that got put together. It happened. Everybody tuned in. And Schofield definitely surprised everybody. That's why I say a lot of times people like, man, his dad just be talking. Yeah, Lawrence. All you gotta do is put these guys in the ring with somebody. That's really all you gotta do. You'll find out how good they are. Now, I like about what Schofield did last night. Now you're gonna have to sit up here and say, and this is why I love boxing. Now you're gonna have people sit up here and say, I don't know, I might take Schofield over Andy Cruz. It might sound crazy to a lot of people, but you're gonna have people say that. That's how big that knockout was. And it's gonna be a serious prediction. Probably a week ago, if you would have said that, people would have been like, nah, he ain't that good. Now, if you say that, it's gonna be a possibility. I heard people. I ain't even gonna mention that. I heard some power. They trying to mention where his power come from. But yeah, Andy Cruz though, because 135, it seems like a division where guys just fight a decent fight, then they just move up. because we still got Roach and Tank fighting each other, and Roach just came up from 130. Yeah, man, it's not a lot of names at the weight class right now. Then you had Keyshawn just leave. Yeah, I wonder what the next option gonna be for De Los Santos. I've heard something, but I don't know if that's 135 though. I don't know if that's 135. I'm glad that's starting to go down a little bit now because with Turkey Al-Sheik announcing this fight with Brian Norman and Haney for November Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia for the WB title. I'm glad this is actually happening. I'm definitely glad this is actually happening because um, for some reason, man, people feel like Norman and Haney don't want to fight nobody. They always say these guys is ducking. Now, if they're fighting each other, that means the other people that use their names, or people feel like that they use other people's names to promote themselves, they're going to be using each other's names as far as just him and Haney, just Norman and Haney. That's it. They're not going to be talking about other fighters. So if you hear other fighters talking about Haney and Norman, that means they ducked them. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like they ducked them because a lot of these guys could have fought these guys already. You see, I see Haney pulling out. Nah, Haney ain't never pulled out no fight. That definitely wouldn't happen. You said Jesus Ramos. Nah, he got plenty of options at 54. He might be at 160 soon though. I don't think Ramos gonna be at 54 soon. He gonna be at 60, 160 soon. So he's not really an option for Brian Norman. But Virgil, maybe one day with Virgil Ortiz though. But yeah, these guys say, man, I'm trying to fight Haney. They've been ducking because these guys sat up here and said online, "Hey, we want to fight each other." Everybody said, "Man, they ain't trying to fight nobody. They ain't trying to fight each other. They just talking. Not a fight happening." Every time Devin Haney does this, it happened with the Ryan Garcia fight. People say he was just talking. He made that fight happen. Now with this fight, he's making this one happen. And with Norman, it's another champion he fighting. A former champion, but undisputed. Nah, Bakaram, he's supposed to be a mandatory for Lubin or something. But nah, Bakaram definitely not ducking though. Yeah, fighting Josh Kelly is crazy. I mean, he's in the rankings, I guess, but yeah, fighting Josh Kelly is insane. I don't know what that's, bro. I don't know what that's about. I mean, I kind of do because Josh Kelly won. He beat Ishmael, I think his name Davis. I forgot who Carter was on. I don't know why. I really forgot who Carter was on. It might have been Tyson Fury and Usyk. But yeah, he ended up winning that fight. So I guess Turkey giving him another chance to get in the ring. But yeah, I've seen some guys where Bakaram got in the ring with on Josh Kelly level. They've done a decent job against him. So I don't know. Maybe he surprises. But I think at 154, he gonna start to get some bigger fights probably early next year, end of this year. I don't know. He gonna fight him in September, so he might fight again early next year. But yeah, they got big fights coming on now. Cause you already got Usyk and Dubois in 3 weeks. You got Shakur and Zapata in 2 weeks. Yeah, they got Bam Rodriguez in 2 week in 3 weeks with Pacheco. Oh yeah, they got a lot of fights on that weekend. Yeah, I keep forgetting Bam fighting that weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna watch boxing all that day. Oh, they got McCumbee and Pacheco. So yeah, they got some fights coming up soon. Yeah, but a lot of guys need to. If I was Tim Zoo, I would have tried to get a rematch with Bakaram. I would have tried to make that happen. I mean, the Fundora rematch is cool, but he got embarrassed worse in the Bakaram rematch. I mean, the Bakaram fight. I would have took the rematch in that fight. But yeah, the Fundora fight still gonna be good though. Now, if Tim Zoo ends up getting that belt, maybe he turns around and looks for a Bakaram rematch. Depends on what happened between him and Fundora. I know a lot of us not paying attention to that fight, but that fight is happening in like 3 weeks. Yeah, it's happening in 3 weeks, man. It's gonna be a good fight too. Definitely can't overlook that. Because if Tim Zoo fights Fundora and wins, yeah, they're gonna try to have some names out there. Jerron Ennis, they're gonna try to set up a fight with him. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of options at 54. So yeah, if I was Ramos, I would try to focus on making 54 because he might be at 160. Man, we never know. I'm trying to figure out when the last time he fought. Yeah, man, I think Ramos a 160 now, bro. No, he a 54. Yeah, he fought at 60 against Rosario. Then he fought at 54 against Grom. Oh yeah, Ramos fought in February and March. Oh, that's why he weighed in at 160. Okay, I'm tripping. Yeah, you're right. He's still at 54. Nah, he's still Luva's still hard. That fight he just won was for the spot, I think. Nah, he definitely want that fight. That's a mandatory. I guess they don't want to have it. I guess they don't want to have it. Ramos, but oh yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be on the undercard for Crawford. They ain't mentioned his name yet. They just added from what I heard, Jarrell Miller versus Jared Anderson, but they might be taking some names off of the card depending on how big it is. Yeah, if Ramos don't have a fight bigger than Anderson versus Miller, he probably not gonna be on the card. He definitely won't. Man, it's a lot of guys got put on this weekend. If these other guys don't start fighting soon, they gonna get replaced, man. Yeah, Schofield going out there and getting a knockout last night was a bad sign for everybody. He just showed that everybody can get knocked out. Well, anybody. Yeah, he definitely showed that. Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't even know what to say. Now a real conversation is going to be for a lot of people. Who's the best between Abdullah Mason and Schofield? But we'll say that for another day. I might do a poll on that later on and ask some people. Who's the best fighter between Abdullah Mason and Schofield? I'm gonna ask that right now because right now that's looking like a young super fight right now. For some reason, it was always a fight I kind of looked at because when Keyshawn was talking to Schofield, I felt like, man, that's a good fight. But for some reason, I didn't feel like it was very possible. But with Abdullah Mason, yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, I'm gonna put that poll up. I'm gonna see what people gonna say between Mason and Schofield. He said Miritai top dog at 35. Yeah, I didn't like what he did against Farmer, but I thought his performance was better than Zepeda. But yeah, Miritai and actually him and Schofield will be a good fight. I think Miritai fought on Schofield's card last year. But yeah, that'll be a good fight. They say he got a fight already put together. But yeah, he fought Perez, Jesus Perez last year on Schofield card. No, that wasn't on Schofield card. Who was that on? Dang, who? Hold on, man. I thought he fought on Schofield's card. I'm tripping. I gotta find this. It wasn't Miritai that fought on his card. Yeah, I'm tripping. I'm lost on that one. I gotta go back to Schofield's fight card and see who fought on there. But yeah, that's a fight that should happen though. That's definitely a fight that should happen. Okay, he had Fundora on there. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that he was on the card with him. Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. But yeah, man, that's sad to see Tevin Farmer go out like that last night. He's a way better fighter than that, but hey, that's what happens sometimes, man. Some guys show up in a different way. Yeah, that was shocking though. Then Carrell went out there and got a knockout. Yeah, he looked good too last night. Carrell did. And he's at 147. He wants to fight Rolly. Oscar said Carrell and Rolly should fight each other. I don't know how they would feel about that fight, but that's a good fight though. Because I know a lot of people would probably want Rolly to be in the ring with somebody else, but yeah, that'll be a good fight. Carrell just fought Rocha recently. I don't know who they'll try to put in the ring with Rolly though. At 47, he got to fight somebody. They got Norman fighting Haney in the first fight that Haney's having at 47. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Yeah, even Campos, he lost to Rocha. But I think one guy, people, it's gonna be hard for people to beat is Centillion. People saying people are like Centillion. I think there'll still be a tough fight for a guy like Rolly. He can go out there and lose to a Centillion. Carrell said he got Oscar De La Hoya said he got Carrell knocking out I don't know if that's what got Ryan Garcia. Oscar said we're gonna get Carrell to knock out Rolly. And I'm pretty sure he can make the fight happen, so because right now I'm not hearing other names around Rolly. Yeah, I haven't heard any other names. I don't think him and T.O. will fight, so that'll be a reach. And T.O. still at 140. Yeah, 47. I mean, he could fight a Ryan. I'm not Ryan, but Rolly fight Duarte or Sims. I think Duarte trying to fight Ryan again. So with everything Ryan's doing right now, yeah, I think it up again very soon. So I definitely don't think Duarte or Ken Williams will be an option. Whoever win that fight. Ring with him, Carell older. Roach only 27. Rolly's actually older than Alexis Rocha. He might be older than Carell too. They both the same age though. So yeah, Rolly ain't no young fighter still. Older than Boots. Boots just turned 28. Yeah, he the same age as Karen. So yeah, he gotta start putting these fights together. Is he gonna fight again this year? We in June right now. About to be July. So I don't know if Rolly's gonna fight again this year. He should. If I was him, I would definitely try to get in the ring again this year. Yeah, these some that'll be some good matchups. Let's see what kind of news they got coming out. But yeah, I seen a couple people saying Miritai versus Schofield will be a good fight. Let's talk about Jake Paul Wilder. Please make that happen. They'll never do that. Matter of fact, Jake Paul went. I'm waiting on that. I can name that shit. That later on. It's a lot of upset with the performance. Was upset. They mad at Jake Paul performance last night. I mean, it's to be honest with you, man. It's a lot of fighters that's exciting, and they don't get the respect like that or the TV time like a Jake Paul. So that's the biggest problem. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. It's like the guys who are more exciting than Jake Paul, they not getting no TV time or they not getting any fights. People always say, "Oh, this guy haven't fought in 2 years." That's a problem. It's not something to brag about. You said Jake Paul versus Wilder. I watched though. I would too though. But Jake Paul would never jump in the ring with Wilder. He knows better. But yeah, I did not expect the knockouts I seen this weekend. But yeah, I think Norman and Haney making this fight happen, that's gonna change a lot of things in boxing. Because now, bro, you got Canelo and Crawford and Haney and Norman. Now you can't use those names to kind of like build up fights. Now you got to get in the ring and fight yourself. That's the only reason I'm glad these fights are like done right now. And I'm pretty sure with the way Turkey thinks, he's like, man, I'm tired of seeing these names floating on the internet because he's on Twitter as well. So he's like, let me go ahead and set up these fights with Haney and Norman and Canelo and Crawford. So we don't have to keep, talking about what will happen or could happen or why the fights aren't signed yet. And once Turkey does that, you'll see everybody else kind of get quiet or they're going to still use these guys' names. But maybe people didn't realize it, but a lot of people been using these guys' names. Because Tio was supposed to fight Norman last year. And we still haven't even gotten around to that yet. Yeah, but Tio was supposed to fight Norman last year, man. And now a year later, Haney's fighting him. And Haney's at 147. Yeah, he's always going to be the guy that's fighting somebody while other people are using reasons of why they can't fight certain people. And trust me, everybody else who thinks they're better than Devin Haney, they could have fought Brian Norman Jr. as well. So after Haney and Norman fight, you probably still won't see a lot of people calling out Brian Norman. Even if he lose, they probably still won't call him out. They know both of these guys are threats. Really, Haney and Norman is putting everybody in a tight situation right now. I see that right now. I've heard so many fighters saying, "Oh, Haney need to fight me. He ducking. He ducking." Now that he's fighting Norman, everybody knows he's not done. So the other fighters that say he is ducking, they need a fight that's tougher than Brian Norman. Norman is. There's a lot of names out here. We just seen Schofield get Tevin Farmer recently. It's not that hard to get a big name and get in the ring with him, or a tough fighter, somebody with some experience, somebody who fans want to see. Turkey exposing people right now because he set up with try to make a certain fight. A lot of guys, even with Boots and Virgil fight they try to make. But yeah, we gonna see in the future though. It's a lot of changes. Yeah, great weekend, man. But Jake Paul did not. He did not end the weekend very well at all. don't think everybody tuned in to watch him. No, I'm not gonna just tuned in just to watch him. It's definitely not watched it. Wasn't the reason, but I think when he first started fighting, his undercards weren't the reason why people was watching. But they're just boxers, though. You know what I'm saying? They can't really go out here and just campaign. Else. But the best to fight the best, man. People will look past those fights that he's having. If the Canelo Crawford fight can good fights in boxing kind of normal, then yeah, you'll get. It's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be another 5 years. I'm gonna try to come back in on OBS
No.
connection all crazy on StreamYard. They just clicking random stuff on here. Yeah, OBS going crazy right now. It feel like somebody's taking it over right now, just pushing random stuff. So I don't know what's going on, but I appreciate everybody for going coming on live stream for a little bit, even though they've been choppy and they doing all that extra stuff. Some more news out I got right now too that I'm looking over. But I just wanted to come on here and chop it up with y'all for a couple of hours. I might try to come back on later on, see if my connection is a little better.